Hey, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am really excited because I'm going to be sharing with you guys yet another eyeshadow palette. This is the Glamlite and Mikayla palette. Mikayla is basically like a TikTok personality, and she does a lot of beautiful makeup looks, eyeshadow looks, whatever. And she collabed with Glamlite to come up with this gorgeous color story. And I'm excited to be dipping into it today with you guys. I'm going to be creating several different eye looks, really taking this palette and taking it for a test drive and seeing what I can do with it. So if you've wanted this palette or you're wondering what my thoughts are on it, please be sure to stick around. If this is your first time here on my channel and you're not already subscribed, or maybe you've been lurking and you just haven't committed yet, please be sure to tap that subscribe button before you leave. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's get into this palette. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the palette just a little bit. This is the outside. Yes, that's actual glitter in that plastic coating here. Mikayla is all about the sparkle. She likes the glitter. Now, when you open up the inside of the palette here, you've got, of course, a mirror up top, and then you've also got plenty of mattes, plenty of shimmers. We have neutral shades, really colorful shades, sparkly shades. So there's just a little bit of everything in here. There's something for everybody, I feel like. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I buy palettes like this that have all this color in here, typically I would rather they just omit the neutral shades. But when I watched her reveal video, she talked about why she put those in there. And I remember her saying, you know, for those people that are afraid to dabble into color, this was like their transition into color. Like they have their neutrals and then they can tippy-toe their way down into the more bold colors, right? So that makes sense. I understand that. And that makes this a more well-rounded palette. But for those of us that already really love color, that already have a lot of colorful eyeshadow palettes, it just felt redundant for me to have those neutral shades in here. I would have rather maybe there been two different palettes, one without the neutral shades that we could just get like all the colorful ones. But I still like the layout. I still like the shades that are included in here. I don't exactly dislike them. So I'm excited to play with this nonetheless. This palette retails for $42, and when you factor in 30 eyeshadows at $42, that's less than $2 a shadow, which in my opinion is really good. When it comes to the Glamlite formula, their mattes are not quite as opaque as what I would typically like to see. So I kind of have to build them up a little bit, but their shimmers are where it's at. They're what kind of hits the mark for me. They're very putty-like when you feel them. They have that kind of wet feeling to them. And not all of them. Some of them feel like that, and then some of them feel like a typical shimmer formula. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and throw down two different eyeshadow bases to see how this formula applies over top of both. I'm going to do Anastasia Beverly Hills on this side and P. Louise on this side. Yay! Man. Nice. I love when I drop my sponge on the floor and it rolls around in cat hair. It's great. So for this eye, I'm going to do something a little bit more colorful. For me, that's how I like to use P. Louise bases, with the colorful shadows. I think what I want to do, just because my first instinct is to dip into some of these purples and this really beautiful, like, deep teal shade. That's my first instinct. So I'm going to go against what my instincts are, and I'm going to dip into Mass Hole, which is this really beautiful deep blue shade. And I'm going to start building that up in my crease. So I'm going to be using my Morphe E18 and also the Morphe E36, which is just like a smaller version of the E18. Ooh, look at that blue. Let's skip forward. That is a beautiful blue. So far, that is super pigmented. Okay, now that I have that initial shade laid down, I think I want to dip into Rhody, which is this really pretty like sky blue. And I'm going to be taking that same brush and we're going to be tapping half on, half off. Oh, it's just so pretty. It's so pigmented. I feel like these shades so far, I've only used two, but so far I feel like this is a different formula. Maybe I'm wrong, but they just feel a little bit more pigmented than what I'm used to, more opaque, and I'm not mad about that. I like a good pigmented opaque shadow for this purpose. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to take the Sigma E36. It's just a very kind of like small blending brush. I'm going to dip back into Rhody, which is that lighter blue, and we're going to go all the way around the outside of what we just did, very lightly to help kind of diffuse that. Because we don't want there to be like harsh lines here. We want it to look, you know, like it's blended. Okay, now what I'm going to do is dip back into that deeper blue with the same brush that I was just using. And we're going to kind of blend up into that lighter blue, just very, very lightly. Again, this is just a process of blending, packing on color, just to get the desired look. I'm loving this so far. Look at that. I hope you guys can see like the level of depth and the blend. That is really, really deep blue. It's pretty. Okay, now I'm going to dip back into that lighter blue Rhody. Ooh, I mean, that's really pretty just like that. Typically, I don't do looks like this. I usually don't leave them all matte. I like to add at least a little bit of shimmy in there. But I'm not hating the all matte look. Okay. Ooh, I like that. It's got me questioning whether I even want to add a shimmer over top. I feel like I do still. I just remembered that I had also ordered some of their icing from Glamlite. This is kind of like P. Louise base. It's kind of just a colored base to put on your lids. Glamlite offers quite a few shades of this. I can't remember how many. This is the shade White Frosting. It's just pure white. And I also got the shade Buttercream. This one is probably my skin tone, so I figured what I can do is I can mix and match these two to come up with something a little bit more customized to what I would typically wear, more like my P. Louise base, like that shade. So yeah, that's what I have, and I'm actually going to use the white one to cut that crease and to add that beautiful shimmer NARS on top. I'm going to take the Wet n Wild brush. This, I don't know what brush this is, probably a concealer brush, but you can see how it's got that rounded head on it, and it's very flat, so this works perfectly for mapping out exactly where I want that icing to go. I'm going to place it right here, like that, and I'm going to go like this. And it's going to map out where I want that to be up top. Oh, and it's smudged. Oh, shit. Well, I wasn't expecting that to happen. You see what I mean? How it's smudged up there, those two lines? What the hell? Oh, no. Shit. This is the first time I've used this base before, so don't really know what to expect. Well, it's not going to be perfect. That sucks. And then what I like to do is kind of go like this with my finger on the edges here, just to kind of blend it a little bit better. But again, I don't know how this is going to work. I've never used this base before, so kind of hoping for decent results here. The idea is to have it kind of tacky, though, because we're going to be tapping that shade on top. Okay, taking NARS, beautiful shimmer. I'm first going to try to put some on with the Morphe M167, and it's just a packer brush. I know it's not going to lay it on as much as I want, but it's going to get down some of it to take away that tackiness, at least. That way this doesn't stick to my finger. So that's what we're going to do first. Get a light dusting going on here. Then we're going to go in with the finger. Ooh, buddy, it makes such a difference. Ooh, that's pretty. I don't know that it's the right tone, what I'm looking for this eye look, but we're kind of stuck with it now, you know? Then I'm going to tap back into NARS with just a finger here and just kind of tap over the edges a little bit. We're trying to get a better blend here. And that, folks, is look number 1. I feel like I need to finish it. Like, it doesn't look fully complete like this, does it? Man, that is so pretty. I'm digging this, guys. I'm excited about that. I think that's beautiful. Okay, I'm thinking for this look, maybe I should just go straight in with the icing, just to see how these shadows blend over top, because this is Glamlite's eyeshadow base, right? I feel like we ought to see how it works that way. So, let me see what buttercream looks like. It looks like it's going to be pretty even with my skin tone. Oh yeah. I'm thinking that we should maybe mix in a little bit of the white with that because I like it to be a little brighter, but I don't want it to be stark white. I wonder if that would work as a concealer. Holy Moses. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to mix together buttercream and white frosting. I feel like these were really inexpensive too. Were they like $10 a piece? Something like that. Oh yeah, that's better. Rude. Almost did that eye. That wouldn't have been good at all, huh? That feels a lot like P. Louise. Maybe a little bit more wet. Just a little bit. Really curious to see how shadows blend over top. I mean, I know they pack over top of it okay, but I want to see how they blend. Because your base makes all the difference when it comes to eyeshadow application, in my humble opinion. Okay, I like that. I like the fact that it's close to my skin tone. So the next color that like really calls out to me is the shade Freetown, which is this really beautiful, like teal, I guess, kind of teal. That's the shade that I'm going to start packing into my crease area. We're going to pretty much do the same type of eye look where I'm building depth in the crease, blowing that color out with another color, going in with like a cut crease shape. I just want to have something semi-similar since I'm doing two different eyeballs. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, Glamlite. Just threw my brush. All right, now we have that basic shape laid down. What do I want to do? I was debating on purple or going like the green-yellow route. I don't know what to do, though. I think they both would look really beautiful. First of all, let me just say this mint shade, the best color, this has got to be the most pigmented mint I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, holy Moses. Would you freaking look at that? Yes, indeed. I mean, let's just live on the edge. I'm going to dip into Frisky. Frisky is this really deep purple. Like, they're both really deep shades, and I don't know which one's deeper. So we're just going to go with it. Why not? See what happens. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going to lightly go around the outside with this purple. With, like, caution. Because, yeah. I don't know about this. Maybe I did it backwards. Maybe I should have put the purple down first and then this blue. Or teal. We'll try to make it work here. I think I want to really deepen up that, that crease. This is, interesting. And I'm going to really deepen that up with that deep blue. Or teal. I keep saying blue. It's not blue. It's more like a teal. I love this color combo, though. Isn't this like the colors of a basketball team? What is it? The Hornets? Something. I don't know. I'm not a sports person. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go around the very outside edges with that shade MJ. And that's just a very beautiful, like, lighter lilac shade. That's what I'm going to use to kind of buff that out a little bit. Because right now it's pretty intense. Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't have put that deeper purple. I should have flip-flopped the two, the teal and the purple, but it's too late now. I don't know about that. That's really dark. Oh, shoot. I think what I want to do is take a clean brush and go around the edges of that. Try to diffuse it a little bit. Wow. I mean, that's kind of working itself out. I don't hate this. It's different. Again, I'm going to pack on this deeper teal or whatever it is on that outer edge here. Alrighty. So I think what I'm going to do, this really beautiful shade, Audrey, is really sparkly, and it's kind of like that teal, but it's sparkly. So that is going to go over top of that, but on the inner portion of my lid, it's a toss-up. I either want to put Portuguese? I'm not really sure what that means. Ooh, like look how beautiful. That's pretty. Okay, let me go ahead with my finger. I'm dipping into Audrey. We're going to tap Audrey out here. Ooh, buddy. That's pretty. Super sparkly. Just how I like it. Look at that, would you? That's beautiful. Let's take Nude Beige. Now, should I do another cut crease? I don't feel like I'm going to need to. This one's pretty opaque. First, I'm going to use my finger to tap it on, and then I'm going to go back in with more of like a concealer brush to kind of clean it up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Ooh, buddy. I am really digging this so far, guys. This is a beautiful palette. Like, it's just lacking that that sparkle on the inner corner. Damn it. I kind of want to dip into something else, like an outside palette. I think I'm going to. Look, I like to play around, okay? I like to have fun, and I very, very rarely only dip into one palette. Usually I'm mixing and matching. I'm dipping into singles. I'm like really pizzazzing things up. So this is both looks. I kept them very deep, very blue toned, very, yeah. I stayed away from the lighter shades in here, like 100%. But I really want to amp up this inner portion here. So I also just recently got in my Divina, what is it, her Halo Moon Shadows, I think is what they're called. I want to see if there's something in there that I can like lightly tap over top of this to really transform the way this looks. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna do something fun. I'm like back here digging through all my singles real quick. Look, don't be mad at me, okay? I like to mix and match my shadows, especially when I have something new. And I have the shade Nokomis. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. It's got a cat hair stuck to it. Anyway, in the pan it looks white. It looks like nothing special. But it's a lie. It is a gorgeous, shifty blue. And I don't know if you guys will even be able to see it, but when I put it over top of this eye look, it's going to transform it. Let's just see what happens here. If nothing else, it'll make it kind of glowy. Can you guys see? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That just did something extra. Love it. Alrighty. I'm going to hop off camera. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, including some lower lash line work, the brows. I'm just going to try to look a little bit more human. When I'm done with the rest of my face, including the eyes, I'm going to come back and let you guys know my initial thoughts on this palette. You guys are going to be so upset. Okay, so I hopped off camera and I did my face, obviously. This is like a whole separate day, okay? This is not even the same day that I filmed the other two looks because I ran out of time and I had other stuff going on. So I thought, you know what? I'll come back another day and I'll finish my looks with this palette. Well, I sat down today and I was watching the Netflix show Manifest, which I'm obsessed with right now, okay? But anyway, I started watching that and I started doing my base makeup and I thought, no big. When I get to the eyes, I'll just get on camera and I'll share the third eye look with them. Well, I was so caught up in watching that show and just kind of like being in my zen, you know, doing my makeup that I didn't, okay? This is the third eye look with the Mikayla and Glamlite palette. And of course it's my favorite look. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? So let me just share with you the shades that I used to create this look. I took the shade Iconic, this really beautiful hot pink shade, and I just buffed that into the crease. Oh, and I did not use P. Louise this time. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye base. These shadows work exceedingly well over top of that eye base, okay? I took Iconic, I blended it into the crease. Then I took the shade Frisky, which is this gorgeous deep purple, and I did the same thing. I took a denser brush, and I really built that up into the crease and up into that pink. When I got done with that, I tapped that shade Frisky on that outer edge right there. I just packed it on. And then I took Portuguese, which is this amazing sparkly purple shimmer shade, and I packed it on the outside right here. You guys can see that. And then I took Immaculate, which is another really beautiful sparkly shimmery purple, and I packed it in the middle of my lid. I know I told you guys this before, but I like there to be some depth to my eye looks. And then last but not least, I took the shade Simping, and I packed it on the beginning portion of my lid. So, this is look number 3, and guys, I gotta tell you, after creating those 3 looks and playing with this formula, and just kind of like having fun with this palette, this is definitely my favorite palette from Glamlite. I don't know what they did differently, but the matte formula is just better, in my opinion. I've noticed in other Glamlite palettes that the matte formula is a little bit thin sometimes. It's just not as opaque. The shades that I used to create the eye looks that I shared with you guys today, and well, the last time I filmed, they're just better, in my opinion. Even some of these shimmers are better. They're just more pigmented. They're shinier, more sparkly. Whatever they did it right, and I hope they keep doing it. So, I am so glad to own this palette. I'm really excited for Mikayla, and I think she deserved this, okay? I can't wait to play with it some more in the future, and I would say if you're looking for a really beautiful, colorful palette, and you're not mad about them, you know, those neutral shades being in there, give this a try. It really is a fantastic palette. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I created 2 eye looks. I'm so pissed at myself I didn't share with you guys this one. Like, this is my favorite eye look out of the 3, like, by a long shot. I love the way it turned out. Let me just, like, look. She's pretty. I mean, what can I do? It is what it is. I didn't want to not share it with you guys. So anyway, if you like this video from me, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done that as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.